This week on Inside Boulder News, the second phase of enforcement for the Bear Protection Ordinance will begin next summer. A pilot program in 3 BVSD schools aims to overcome hunger in our community. And Seeds Library Café is officially open to the public. Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Ashley Prill. Just over a year ago, the Bear Protection Ordinance was adopted in the city of Boulder. The ordinance requires trash and compost be secured from bears at all times until collected by a waste hauler. It currently applies to properties west of Broadway and south of Sumac Avenue. The first phase of enforcement began in October 2014 and focused on properties that back up to alleys.
We've seen a great improvement in alleys from where, you'd walk down the alleys, particularly at late summer, fall, for the past couple of years, and there's just trash cart after trash cart knocked over by bears, where this year they did seem a lot cleaner. We have some video of bears just trying out to get into these bear-resistant carts or knocking them over and moving on, which is really what we were hoping for. We recognize the bears are still going to come into town, but we're hoping if they can't get into the trash, they're not going to rely on trash as a primary food source.
The city originally anticipated the second phase of enforcement would begin this summer, but announced last week that it will be delayed until June 1st, 2016.
One of the trash haulers, in a response to the community requesting a way to keep costs down, are using their carts that are currently out on the street, so they're retrofitting their carts. When the first 1,000 carts were brought to customers, these fully automated carts that they use with the truck, they were heavy for some users, particularly older adults or sometimes folks with physical disabilities. What they're looking to do now is go back to the drawing board a little bit and see if they can design a retrofit that's both bear resistant and a little easier to use.
Western Disposal serves the majority of residents living in the Bear Protection Ordinance zone. In order for their carts to be considered bear resistant, the city requires that they actually be tested by bears. There's only one place in the United States where this can happen, and it's in West Yellowstone, Montana.
Each size cart has to pass its own test. It's not you make it for a 32 and then automatically a 64 and a 96 become certified. Each cart has to be tested itself. And because of the amount of plastic difference between a 32, 64, 96, there's different points on the cart that makes each size a little more accessible to the claws, to the teeth of a grizzly bear. And so you have to design each cart for those points. And as you go through the process, you figure out where those weak points are, because you have the chew marks. They provide you videos of the bear getting into the cart and attacking the cart, and then you get to analyze at what point and in what way did they gain access to the cart.
And it has to last for 60 minutes. So it's not uncommon for the designs to fail, in which you're going back to the drawing board, and this process can take a few months. So we're allowing for a few months to explore design options, and then once hopefully a lighter design is identified, then it's about 6 months for production. So we're just looking at enough time to realistically look at some design options and then allow for production.
Despite the challenge of their carts repeatedly facing 500-pound grizzly bears, Western Disposal is confident it can create a lighter, more maneuverable option.
Customer satisfaction is a big part of making this all work, and keeping the bear out is one thing, but also making it to where it's satisfactory and usable to the consumer is the other piece, and that's where we've really concentrated our efforts now.
Other waste haulers serving residents in the Bear Protection Ordinance zone are providing manufactured carts and will be issuing them to customers over the next year. For more information about the ordinance or how it's being implemented, visit boulderwildlifeplan.net. Last week, several community leaders came together to celebrate a pilot program that helps parents with financial difficulty feed their children. The GAM initiative, Nourishing Toddlers and Infants, which is part of the School Food Project, is an effort to help overcome hunger in our community.
So what we're doing is that every single child in preschool now has lunch together, either in the cafeteria here, like at Columbine, or in the classroom. They learn how to eat together, they learn how to socialize, they get this healthy food, they learn dexterity because it's served family style. And then at the end of the week, they get a bag of food to take home that has some staples, but also has produce and our harvest of the month and sometimes recipes and farmer cards. So we really get to teach the kids about healthy food as well as actually give them the healthy food.
The program was launched in 3 Boulder Valley School District schools this year and is fully funded for the first year by local resident Gordon Gamm. He hopes others will contribute in future years.
It's something that affects children for the rest of their lives. Their brains don't develop properly. They're not able to pay attention to learning because they're thinking about where their next meal is going to come from. And these are our children. They're not just the children of the parents, but as a caring community, I think it reflects well or poorly on what kind of town that we live in if we either take care of or don't take care of these children.
Community health is one of our real priorities, and it's just great to see a community member, Gordon is from Boulder, stepping up to help that population. And I think sometimes, you know, we don't know that there are hungry kids in Boulder. We're an affluent community, but there truly are. And we need to make sure those kids have their stomachs filled and that they can learn and prosper.
One of the ways the children are engaged in the process is through Harvest of the Month and farmer trading cards.
So this month is radishes. This farmer right here, Mark Guttridge, he grew them. He's in Longmont. So this is his trading card, tells a little bit about his farm. It coincides with our Harvest of the Month on the calendar, which features artwork done by a student. This student went to Douglas Elementary, and each month it changes. Next month is spinach, and that's how we tie in local food which comes into the schools, and we really want students to know where their food comes from and even put a face to it of who grew their food.
Since the launch of the pilot program in October, school staff have found it to be successful.
Well, I think the most exciting part of this is that we've learned that the lessons the kids learn at school, they're taking home. So one of our we interviewed parents, and one of the parents said that my child came home saying they ate lettuce and cucumbers, and I had never fed them lettuce and cucumbers at home because I just assumed they wouldn't eat it. So, you know, we are actually changing the dynamics at the family dining table, and that is amazing. What I really hope people who hear this understand is that even in a community as rich as Boulder can be, that we have lots of families and children in need, and we really have to make sure that it's a birthright that every single child has healthy, delicious food in school, and no child is ever hungry.
Find more information about the program at bvsd.org by clicking on the School Food Project link. This Saturday, Open Space and Mountain Parks will hold the first public workshop to kick off the development of the North Trail Study Area Plan. The North Trail Study Area Plan aims to improve visitor experiences north of Linden Avenue on the Diagonal Highway and also conserve the area's natural resources, agricultural options, and cultural resources. By letting OSMP know how you connect with the land, you can help shape the plan in several ways.
So some of the community-driven outcomes that might be included in the plan are trail connections and trailhead improvements. But at the same time, we also want to ensure that we're sustaining the nearby landscapes that are in this plan area. So some of those efforts could include the realignment of trails around sensitive wildlife habitats. It could also include projects to reduce trail erosion. And at the same time, we also may want to look at the removal of redundant paths that are in some of these areas. But at the same time, we really want to ensure the continuing protection of our natural resources and the conservation of our agricultural and cultural resources as well.
OSMP anticipates a draft of the North TSA will be complete by the end of this year. Saturday's workshop will take place at the East Boulder Community Center from 9 to 11:30 a.m. If that won't work for your schedule, another workshop will take place on Wednesday, May 6th at the Municipal Services Center from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Both workshops will cover the same information. In the meantime, you can share your input right now by visiting inspireboulder.com, the city's 24-hour digital town hall. For more details about the North TSA, visit northtsa.org. The long-awaited Seeds Library Café is officially open for business. The cafe is located on the bridge inside the main Boulder Public Library and is run by the Boulder County Farmers Markets.
It feels awesome. I mean, just to have all the people here and lighting up the space, it's just, you know, people make everything, right? And it just feels so vibrant. And that's what we want to bring to the cafe in terms of the farmers market, is that vibrant energy that our local agriculture brings, that the people who enjoy it bring, and have that be a center here.
The cafe is committed to using local ingredients to create the items on the menu.
So we're going to be sourcing 75% of everything that we sell here locally. That's our target. And we're going to make it really transparent, so we'll have a measure up that everybody can see. And if we're not hitting our target, it becomes a point of discussion of why not. How is it hard to source locally, and why would that be, and what can we do to change that system?
The cafe will also host programs to get the community more involved in local agriculture.
The programs are intended to encapsulate the local agricultural voice. The primary reason we have the cafe is not just to sell and feature our producers' goods and the amazing results from local food, but also to have a voice here in Boulder County for the agricultural sector.
Seeds Library Café is open 7 days a week. To find out what's on the menu for today or see pictures of the latest happenings, visit facebook.com/seedsboulder. This Saturday, you're invited to purge your spurge in exchange for free native plants. Myrtle spurge is common in gardens across Boulder, but is actually illegal in Colorado. The noxious weed can quickly take over by dominating native plants, invading natural areas, and is also considered poisonous. Make sure to wear long sleeves, long pants, gloves, and eye protection when removing it. The event will take place from 9 to noon at Resource Boulder. Thank you for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter by submitting news tips and questions. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe.